So tell us the inspiration. Obviously, it's inspiring to follow a whale, but your perspective on the inspiration for this film.
Well, we were really inspired by Granny, J52. It's really unfortunate she died right after we finished the movie, but the idea that there's this incredible matriarch, essentially, of the orcas out there, and she is over 100 years old, and all of the things that she had seen in her life, and also the way that the orca's relationship has changed with humans is really phenomenal. I mean, there was a time prior to the 60s where we were using machine guns and shooting orcas and thought that they were dangerous pests. Now we love them, sometimes to death. And so really incredible. Also, I mean, orcas are a very fascinating study. As you can imagine, the more you learn, the more you want to learn about them. But just her life and I had a chance to meet her, obviously, and film her, and I just really, her whole story is amazing.
Now, tell us the strategy of filming her. Did you? I must think that you had to have a lot of patience in order to shoot the footage, but you probably got a lot of assistance by the community around Granny, that they probably told you, okay, this is the best time to get footage for the film.
Yeah, we were incredibly fortunate in a couple of ways. We worked with a whale watching tour company called Eagle Wing, that are a wonderful company, and they donate money to research and to support, helping the orcas as much as possible. And they would call us when Granny had been spotted so we could go out with them. Right. We were incredibly fortunate also in terms of when we were on the boat that she showed up for us in some really phenomenal ways. Orca researchers have a theory that orcas know things that they couldn't possibly know, and they seem to know when people are trying to help them, and they do show up for them. Right. There's a whole scientific theory around that. So we have some footage that we have not been able to find anywhere else of Granny breaching for us at sunset. And at one point there was a super pod, which is like 50 orcas swimming around our boat. Nice. It's just really amazing.
Tell us what you learned about Granny after doing this film.
So there's a couple of things I learned about Granny, and about orcas in particular. One of the most fascinating things about orcas is that they're matriarchal. So it's the oldest female that is in charge. Right. And so Granny, being the oldest female, was really the boss. She's queen bee of all of the pods. Right. So when they would get together, the other females would gather the oldest ones, and she would be kind of the leader. Orcas are also one of only 3 species, including humans, that actually have a menopause. And the theory is the grandmother hypothesis. It's the idea that need for the experience and the wisdom being passed down by the matriarch is actually more important to the species' survival than the ability to just have babies. And Granny herself, oh wow. Just watching her, it's really hard to explain it in words, because there's such a profound experience in being with them. Right. But her intelligence and her ability to find her way out of some incredibly difficult situations, especially around the captivity era, is phenomenal. She, at one point, led her pod of whales into a series of depth charges to get away from nets that were being cast because people were trying to cast a trap for that. She'd figured out exactly where to go to get out of it and was willing to go into an explosion. That's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Pretty smart.
Very.
Tell us a little bit about the podcast.
Oh, thank you for asking. So my partner Mark Laranyang and I are producing a podcast called SCANA, which is SKAANA. It's about orcas and oceans. And we interview experts about the oceans and what's happening environmentally, either politically, socially, culturally. We've talked to Alexandra Morton, David Suzuki, Andrew Weaver, who is the first Green MP in BC, Elizabeth May. and a whole series of other really amazing people. We have an interview coming up with Rob Stewart we shot, unfortunately, before he passed away, and really opening the dialogue and trying to educate and inform, and we're learning a lot as we do it. Yeah.
Now tell us, how does it feel to be here at Planet in Focus with your film?
Oh, it's amazing. First of all, it's a really cool festival, and it's my first festival as a filmmaker. I've always covered them before.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm really excited. My talkback's today, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the movie on a big screen with people, obviously. And it's a little surreal, right? But no, I'm really honored that our film was chosen, and I'm really inspired by all the people I'm meeting. There's so many people here with amazing work. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, and good luck with your film and your podcast as well.
Thank you.